if you get all major works of George Eliot at one place with their short outline stories? Then stay here because this video is going to provide you all the substantial information which you are searching for. Hello and assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to my channel and I am Mehreen. After some long hours of research, I successfully have dug out major and notable literary works of George Eliot in their chronological order. So let's start. बस एक रिक्वेस्ट है before starting the video, be with me till the end of the video so that you may relish the full flavor of the research. Scenes of Clerical Life, which was written in 1858, it consists of 3 stories dealing with the tragedy of ordinary lives. First story is of Amos Burton, and this story teaches the significance of the anguish suffered by an ordinary man. Second tragedy, which is written in the Scenes of Clerical Life, is of Mr. Gilfil's love story. It is a vision of the past. And the third story, Janet's Repentance, presents a conflict between religion and irreligion. Already George Eliot's humanity is apparent in these works, though her style and manner as a novelist are still in the making. Of course, it was the initial work of George Eliot. That is why some kind of immaturity is also evident in this literary work. Let's move ahead. Adam Bede, which was written in 1859. This is a full-length novel. It gives an excellent picture of English country life among the humbler classes. The story involves Adam Bede, a village carpenter, and Hattie Sorrel, who is a pretty but a vain girl whom he loves. Hattie, however, is seduced under the promise of marriage by Arthur Donington, a young squire. She becomes pregnant and later murders her illegitimate child. She is arrested, convicted of the murder of the child, and transported. After a time, Adam wins the heart of Dinah Morris, a younger preacher. She is a Methodist. It is a movingly told story and is notable for its fine characters, such as Mrs. Poyser, Hattie, and Adam Bede himself. Besides being realistic and rich in humor, the novel expounds George Eliot's ethical philosophy. And if you want to enjoy the full story of Adam Bede, please go ahead and watch the full story on my channel. The Mill and the Floss, which was written in 1860, is a partly autobiographical story involving Maggie Tulliver and her brother Tom. A moving tragedy set in an authentic rural background. It presents in Maggie's character probably George Eliot's most profound study of the inner recesses of human personality. It is also, I would say, the first psychological novel in the history of English literature. Silas Mariner, the weaver of Raviola, which was written in 1861. It again gives excellent pictures of village life and has scenes of rich humor, skillfully blended with the tragedy. Silas Mariner is a hand-loom weaver, basically good. He has become bitter and cynical because of a false accusation of theft brought against him. For years, he endures a lonely life with the chief interest of saving money. But he is saved from his despair when he finds a little girl by chance. He lavishes all his love upon her and brings her up as a daughter. After 16 years, the real father of the girl, a squire, claims her but fails to win the girl from Silas. Fifth novel of George Eliot is considered Romola, which was written in 1863. It begins a new phase in George Eliot's writing. The ethical interests which had underlined all her previous works now become more and more the dominating factor in her novels. It is a story of Romola, a girl of high moral sense, bred under the influence of Savonarola and Tito Milema, a handsome, clever but easygoing young man. The novel is set in the medieval Florence, but the historical setting does not come alive. The note of spontaneity is lacking in spite of the memorable study of degeneracy in the character of Tito Milema and the novel presents. And it was not a big success. Romola was not a big success. We cannot say that it was a blockbuster by George Eliot. Felix Holt the Radical, which was written in 1866, is probably George Eliot's least important novel. It is set in the period of Reform Bill. It gives a picture of the upper middle class and industrial life. And we must remember that Reform Bill and Industrial Revolution both were a very important factor of Victorian age. Middlemarch, a study of provincial life which was written between 1871 to 1872, has been regarded the most readers and critics to be George Eliot's greatest novel. The novel's name is that of the town in which the scene of the story is laid. Middlemarch. In fact, there are two stories running parallel in the novel. In both cases, there are complications arising from marriage. In one case, Dorothy Brooke finds her lofty ideas frustrated in her marriage with Reverend Edward Casaubon. In the other case, Rosamond Vincy cannot find happiness with Dr. Lydgate, a man who struggles to meet his family's demands while being true to his professional ambitions. The novel is noteworthy for its deeply studied characters who suffer through their own blindness and folly, and the powerful and inexorable realism of the complex picture of life in a small town. And the name of that small town is Middlemarch. Daniel Deronda, which was written in 1876, is colored by George Eliot's preoccupation with moral problems. This is a very noteworthy thing, that ethical values and moral occupation is the favorite themes of George Eliot in her novels. It is a story of marriage between two persons who are equally self-centered. Indeed, it is more of a dissertation than a novel. Last but not the least, impressions of Theophrastus Such, which was written in 1879. It is in fact a collection of miscellaneous essays. If you are a big fan of George Eliot's novels, then you must know that what kind of importance of George Henry Lewes was in George Eliot's life. With the death of Lewes in 1878, the literary career of George Eliot came to an end. And in 1880, she married J.W. Cross, 20 years her junior, thou a great friend for a long time. She died the same year at Chelsea. It means Theophrastus Such, which was written in 1879, was a last creation of George Eliot. I hope this little effort of compiling whole of George Eliot would have been a great source of help to the George Eliot's fans. If you like the video, then do not press the like button. Just do let me know in the comment box what you have found the best about the video. Thank you for being with Mehreen for such a long time.